So this is a quick tutorial just talking about analysis features. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly create a new part, and I think for this example I'll do a revolve, and I think we'll have a sphere. I'm just going to quickly sketch a circle there. I'm going to turn all the datums off. I'll put a solid line down the center of this circle. So there we go, hit escape, and then I think I'll delete this segment that we're not going to need around this side. And then one last thing, just put a center line in there, and then hit OK, and as you can see we get that nice revolved feature, which is a sphere, obviously. So that's just to give us something to attach the analysis feature to. So if you've ever used the analysis tools, they're in the analysis tab here, in the measure options here, and you can see we can do measurements of length, of edges, distances between points, angles, diameters, areas, volumes, and the amount that something transforms from one point to another. I think in this case we'll put a volume feature in, and you can see as soon as I select that, a little pop-up appears and it's telling me the volume of the part using the units defined in the part template. So that's millimeters, so this is millimeters cubed, and that's all very interesting. I could click in there and copy that value and use that somewhere else, but the problem is with this is that as soon as I close this measure window, that disappears. So that piece of information doesn't stay, it's not permanent in the part. It just pops up every time I select it up here, which might be okay for your purposes, but there is a method whereby you can save that feature in the part as a feature in the model tree here, and more than that, it keeps a parameter record of that part. So there'll be a parameter saved in the part that has this value attached to it, and you can then use that either in your calculations or using logic to actually make decisions based on that. So the way that you do that is if you just expand this measurement window a little bit and then select the feature tab there, you can see that we've got the volume selected, and then all you have to do is click on the save icon here and make sure you've got make as feature selected. Here's the name. If you want to give it a specific name, you can type something in there, and when we hit OK this time and close down this window, you can see that we have a measure volume feature in the feature tree. So that's not actually showing us the measurement itself, but if we right click on this and go down to info and then select feature, you can see that in here it does keep a record of what that volume is. And more than that, if we now go back into our models tab and then we go to parameters there, so I've gone into model intent parameters. So this parameter isn't stored at the top level, at the part level, but it is stored within that feature, that measure feature. So if we select feature and then we just select that feature on the model tree here, you can see that there is actually a parameter stored in this part, specifically in this feature, that keeps a record of that value, and every time we change the part, that value will vary accordingly. So we could call up that parameter in any calculation or any situation where we need to use that value. So that's how you keep an analysis feature resident in the model tree here, and how you create a feature from it. And just a little bit of a follow-up to that, obviously you can do that with distance measurements, all the other types of measurements. You can also add them as features into the model tree here.